Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 9645 Northwest New Forest Drive here in Beaverton, located at the front of the house just to the left of the front door. Got a 4-inch ABS clean out here in the concrete patio. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's currently running. We're going to zero the foot counter out at the base of the clean out. And off we go. No standing water on this one. This is one of those lines that starts out quite deep right out of the gate. Transitioning here over to 4-inch PVC pipe. Anytime you start out deep like that, you just don't have as much room to grade the sewer line. So these are they're more prone to standing water. Tolerances are tighter. And my camera right now is upside down, but whoever's been living here has done a fabulous job of keeping the line clean. There is, at least thus far anyway, essentially zero grease buildup, which is really nice to see that. Not a lot of homeowners out there do it much to maintain. Grease buildup has become one of those things that I've become far more concerned about as the years have gone on. I've done almost 25,000 scopes now in 13 years, and grease buildup is a major contributing factor to blockages occurring. And really stubborn ones. There are ones that there's a lot of blockages that occur without people even realizing it. The head pressure builds up behind the blockage and it breaks loose on its own naturally. But when your pipes are greased up, it acts like glue. And those same, which are often toilet paper or balled up toilet paper blockages, adhere to the pipe wall quite effectively and can withstand a lot more head pressure building up behind them. We just transitioned there to 3034 PVC. Now this line looks like it's had some updates done since its inception. This era of home would not have had green 3034 PVC in it. 1978 was, I believe that was the year this was built anyway. Hoping I'm not getting that mixed up with a different house here now, but little tiny bit of standing water there. And I fully expected to see that at some point in this line. Another little bit here. This is with water running right now, which will exaggerate the look of standing water. This area right here, the spots we've been through are going to drain out to probably right around 1/4 of an inch or so of standing water, which is very minor. And you can see it's about the only place in the line where any amount of grease buildup is even collected. Grease will build up anywhere, but it tends to collect or concentrate where there's standing water. And this is the original pipe that used to be here from when the house was first built with the concrete pipe. This is that era where they were just starting to switch over to interior plumbing being plastic, and then they would transition to concrete sometime right around the right-of-way, which was pretty typical. Anyway, that's the main connection there. Most of the line is updated plastic pipe and/or was built with plastic. We're going to go locate the camera head here really quick while the line drains out, and we'll get another look at everything as we come back in. So far, pretty nice looking sewer line, and considering how deep this line exits the house, whoever did the install on this did a nice job doing it. It's not an easy thing to do. You're working with very little slope and grade here, so when you install these, you've got to get it right, or it's going to settle like crazy. So, had you told me this setup before I got here, I would have suspected there was going to be far more significant standing water going on in the line. Alrighty, just located the camera head. Line terminates on Northwest New Forest Drive, and I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the home. So the line here, again, it exits out about 6 feet to the left of the front door, and then makes a big jaunt from left to right under the driveway. Gets about 2/3, maybe a little bit more than that. It gets fairly close to the right side edge of the driveway, and then turns and then runs down the driveway out to the street. You can see a big patch that leads away from the driveway out to the middle of the road. That patch there is where the newer sewer pipe was cut into the ground. And nice job doing it too. Anytime someone's going to update, especially concrete pipe, I usually recommend full mill deal and not leaving anything in the ground. This is a spot right here that's often messed up, where these transitions are from new pipe to old pipe. it's a very easy location to get settling issues. Obviously, we have a little bit here, but that was really nicely buttoned up. Usually, those joints right there very frequently don't hold up not too long after the line's installed, and you end up with an offset joint or something like that. What you have there is very minor. And yeah, thus far coming back through this all drained out, I mean, the standing water is just rinky-dink. Super, super minor. At its worst point here so far, that is maybe a 1/16 of an inch of water. Standing water like that, and you've seen how clean the rest of the line is. This is a line that you would look at until you got to the PVC and think that not a drop of grease has gone down it. There's always some amount that goes down the line, and this right here is probably the culmination of every drop of grease that's ever gone down this thing. Whether it's a 1/16 of an inch or 3 inches of water, grease tends to concentrate at it because it floats to the top of it and it also rapidly cools down. So, yeah, relative to most sewer lines, this line is spotless clean, even with what you've got out here. So that's about the only thing you would ever consistently see hanging up in water that minor is if you're, and or just heavily abusing the heck out of the thing. I mean, flushing nothing but wipes and paper towels down the toilet, which would have a little bit harder time getting through here than the rest of the sewer line, but even still, it wouldn't be a whole lot different than the rest of it. It's that minor. And I don't suggest you put things like that down your line, but just so you understand that. You go from super, super clean to just a little bit of gunk. And my camera has scraped almost all of that off the bottom of the pipe now or loosened it up. It's not meaningful anyway. It's not that I recommend cleaning regardless. But that is way too minor there to go messing with and doing repairs on. So from approximately 62 feet to about 80, something like 80 feet, right where the concrete transition is at, you've got just an infinitesimally minor amount of standing water there. It ranges from about a 32nd of an inch to a 1/16. And for reference, years and years ago, after just studying enough bellies and kind of seeing where toilet paper naturally starts to slow down or hang up in standing water, I don't even start to consider repairs until there's at least an inch of standing water for a minimum of 5 feet. And I used to hammer down on that a lot harder back in the day. At this point in time, I very rarely recommend repairs on bellies like that unless they're super close proximity to the home and or underneath the house. And usually it's when it's in rough old pipe materials like concrete or cast iron that have very rough pipe walls, where the coupling effect of the water slowing things down and rough, snarly pipe walls that grab onto debris, it's not a great combination. In plastic pipe, the smoothness of it has mitigated so much buildup relative to those old pipe products. It's about the best advancement we've made in plumbing is just having smooth plastic pipe. It allows debris to break loose much easier too when you do get blockages. Like when your kids flush a bunch of balled up toilet paper down the line, blockages like that happen all the time. I see evidence of it. You'll see a very short section of pipe where you have some random debris deposits at the top of the sewer line, and you can tell a blockage happened and then broke loose after a few feet of pipe filled up behind it. So it's the importance in keeping your line grease-free is it allows those items that would otherwise, maybe block and break loose to make it all the way to the main rather than get hung up in the line and present the risk for a real sewer event to occur. Wipe your pans out with a paper towel after they cool down. Pour the grease into a jar. Thin little coating of Pam spray on your pans is no big deal. Hot water and soap handles that quite nicely. But the best thing you can do if you know something's getting down there is let your hot water run for about a minute or so after your last dish was washed. It helps to make sure everything remains hot, all the water remains hot all the way out to the main. It doesn't cool down and allow stuff to rapidly cool down once it leaves the house and is in underground piping where it's cold all the time. I'm gonna real quick here just clean the camera lens off. The water's not running now to clean the lens. But I'm gonna run back to the foundation wall here for just a second. Everything from the clean out access to the main lateral connection is in good condition, has good flow, and is functioning properly at this time. Little tiny bit of standing water there. Right up ahead here is where the line necks down to 3-inch pipe. Goes from 3-inch to 4-inch ABS right here. And that right there is going to be where the pipe starts to go vertical there. So anyway, good look at the sewer line. And the standing water we have seen in the line here, all of it is very, very minor. It's the kind of stuff that the only chance it would ever have a blockage occur in it would be under an abusive scenario. Someone would have to be putting plenty of stuff down this thing that has no business going down it. Wipes, paper towels, things like that. Even at the point the standing water is, it realistically, whatever you'd put down the line would pretty much have to already be capable of blocking a perfectly braided piece of pipe. That standing water might just cause it to move a little bit slower. I mean, it's that meaningless. So everything's in good condition, intact. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time. Just try and keep those habits up with the grease buildup. Most everything that's in the line right now, my camera's busted up. Natural water flow will take care of that. And it's way too minor to even justify cleaning it as it sits, but just so you know, most of that's going to break loose over the next few days after you run water.